This is the last stop in my campaign for the presidency, and I particularly wanted the last stop to be a visit to a charitable home, and particularly a home for the aged, because I've had a particular interest in old folks' homes. Ever since I was Member of Parliament for Sembawang for more than 30 years now, I've been the patron of the Swami home as well as the Sri Naramison home for the aged sick. But my involvement with old folks' home actually goes back way beyond that, because when I was working in OCBC, I used to accompany my uncle, the late Mr. Tan Chin Tuan, on visits to old folks' home. He had a particular interest in supporting old folks' home. So I remember Mr. Stein and I used to go with him and the whole family to visit this old folks' home, give them dinner, see how they are getting on, and generally try to help them. Of course, in addition to old folks' home, I've also been involved in other charities. I try to help them as patron, for example, in the Dover Park Hospice, and also try to help charities to raise money for their needs. They're always in need of money, like Jamia, it's a very good cause, some Buddhist charities as well. I think that this charity is very important in Singapore, because it's not only opportunity for those who are better off or who have some means to contribute to society, but I think it's beyond that. It's good that they get involved, give of their time. So this has been something which has been in my family now for many, many years. Ever since I can remember, we have always tried to get involved in charitable causes in various ways. And I think old folks' homes, homes for the disabled, homes for children in need are particular areas where I try to make my contribution. And so I've asked for this last stop in the campaign to come to this old folks' home here. But it's been a good campaign. I've had the opportunity to see a wide variety of life in Singapore, meet a wide variety of people from all sectors, occupations, means, and it will be me and my wife to get to know Singapore and Singaporeans much better. I don't know what will be the result on Saturday, but I would say that my wife and I feel that we are very fulfilled with this campaign. It's been an exciting campaign. It's been a great opportunity for us to interact and get to know many Singaporeans from many parts of Singapore. But as MP in Sembawang, of course, I know the Sembawang people well. But I represented there for 27 years, so I know them, their children. But this is a national campaign, so there are more opportunities. Also, since I'm no longer a PAP member, I can do this as a private individual, talk more freely, and I think that lifting of that constraint, I think, has been very helpful to me.
We just heard from.
Sorry?
I just got word from the newsroom that Mr. Tan Kim Yen at a news conference suggested that Singapore have a pension scheme of between $500 to $700 for the aged between 75 and 80. What do you think of such a...
Well, I think that with regard to the pension scheme or provision for the elderly, the specific means, of course, is a matter for government to decide, and if necessary to go to Parliament. The President itself can only make suggestions. I'm all in favour of making sure that our elderly are well cared for. We've talked to many of the people here. They're very happy to be here because they know at home the children just cannot cope. There's great stress. Looking after an elderly relative. In principle, it's a very good idea, but in practice, it's very hard, particularly when the aged relative is sick or has problems, and there is great stress on the family. So, whatever means we can do to make them more comfortable in the twilight of their years, I think they deserve it. And Singapore is now a reasonably affluent society. I think it's our duty. We should measure our progress as a nation not only by the size of our GDP or how fast we grow. This is important. Not only by how successful we are, all the very bright and successful young people, and we celebrate their achievements, but also how we care for those who cannot care for themselves. I think this is a true mark of what a society is. Is it caring? Is it fair? Does it care for those who can't look after themselves? I think that's something which I would, if I'm president, take a great deal of interest in. And it's an area, I say, where I've been involved now for almost 50 years now. It's been right from young. It's something which in my family has always been part of things which we have been taught from young, that this is our duty.
Your final word to Singaporeans as they prepare to go to the vote?
Well, it's been an exciting campaign. There have been all types of speeches, some allegations, a lot of hot air, I think you say, some of which may not be so sensible, but that's part of the campaign. So as I go to the polls on Saturday, after the polling day tomorrow, as they cast their vote, I think that they should focus, I hope, on the important issues. What are the responsibilities of the president? He's a head of state. He has to represent our country both domestically and internationally. He has to watch over our reserves. He's the face of Singapore. He has to meet with world leaders. And they have to decide then which of the four candidates will best fit their bill, which has the stature, the experience, a record of public service, somebody who's been tested, who is trusted, and somebody who is true to his principles. I think this is the ultimate, because you are not electing a president for one day. You are electing somebody to be the president for the next 6 years. So it's a very important decision. The president has very important responsibilities, including the custodial responsibility over the reserves. So I hope Singapore will take the elections. I'm sure they will, very seriously. But remember, this is not a political election. This is not the election of a member of parliament. This is not the election of a political party. This election of one person to represent Singapore as a president for the next 6 years.
What would you say of Mrs. Tan's support in this 9 days of campaign?
I don't know whether you say something.
Well, my husband loves Singapore, and I love Singapore too. And although it means encroaching onto our family lifestyle, I really support him. He's a good man. He's a really good man. I believe in what he says, what he will do, and it's all for, because he loves Singapore. I support him. I think he'll make a good president you all will be proud of.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.